Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're well. First day off, or only day off actually for the next 10 days, so figured we may as well throw ourselves into a live stream, see how you guys are all getting on as well. So I hope you're well. Thanks for tuning in and a very warm welcome on board. We're in Ibiza again, iniBuild's Ibiza scenery with the PMDG 737-800. We're fired up on GSX. Currently loading the catering on board the aeroplane and waiting for passengers to board as well. We're in a remote stand for boarding today, so no pushback. We're going to be loading the crew and everything via coach, and then from there we will be basically taxiing, turning round on this little yellow line that we can see at the bottom of our screens here today. Badger, Faris, Gav, hello folks, Fritz, Skyworker, John, welcome everybody, I hope you're great. Looking forward to this. Nice little break from work in the flight sim. There's the pilots, and we haven't actually started much of the turnaround yet, to be totally honest. So once the pilots are on board, we'll dive into the flight deck and we'll go and have a look at configuring flight ahead, basically. Doc, hello to you. And Jack, thank you very much. Always nice to see and hear. So, clear the master caution for the doors. We can see the forward and entry doors there in place. Right. So in effect, what we've done is we've loaded fuel, we've loaded baggage, and everything else within here. And as far as we've got in relation to our route is we've just done the POS init page and added our IRS alignment basically. So LEIB to EGBB with the route that we've downloaded from SimBrief into the 737. We're going to activate that. And we can add our flight number today. We're Osprey 165. We can flick over to Unicom. Lovely stuff. Right. Departure arrivals. Departing runway 25 at the moment. EPAMA 2 Echo departure. We've got a bit of an interesting meta to go and enjoy. GSX beeped at me. What is it for? Wait for it. Please close rear entry forward. And rear entry aft. Okay, so that's our departure, EPAMA 2 Echo to runway 24, and then we're going to go out to EPAMA, off to Malta, and away across Western Europe, sort of France and all that sort of stuff. Neil, hello, welcome. Jack's enjoying the PMDG 737, good effort. We're just loading in the wings at the moment so we can get our cruise wings and our route wings put in place. I think I did click it. Alberta, good morning. Let's click it again. Seeing the second FMC over there, GSX is doing its thing. Come on, the overwing's open. Open cargo forward. It's going to want our cargo aft open as well, I'd imagine.
Passengers boarding starting.
I don't know what route data's doing there. Right, anyway, back to here. We'll do perf init request. Jack, no, it's all on SimBrief. You scroll down, there's a whole section of winds, and it'll show you winds up through climb, through descent, and all the way through. Basically, it will give you for each waypoint on your OFP predicted or forecast wind. Within this as well, it'll also in your OFP tell you your average wind at the very top right usually for most formats. And for us today, our average wind is 205 at 47. And our cruiser flight level 360 is what we're going to be using for our flight today as well. Within this, transition altitude of 6,000 for the departure actually matches what we've already got here. And our cost index is telling us cost index 5. We'll leave it on, I'll change it to 30. I like 30. Osprey's happy to burn a bit more fuel. Reserves, it's going to be FinRes plus alternate, which is 2.2. And then when we're happy, we can hit exec there. N1 limit, takeoff 2, climb 2. On the takeoff page, we've been advised flaps 5 on our performance calculator. Fast airplane toolbox, and there's our V speeds, 146. Up here, 156. Adding the 10. We go add a skid off. All the flight directors can go on at this point. And you'll see here we've added a course already of 242 degrees. And if we look down here, we've also added, well not yet actually, we need to add 117.8. Transfer that across. We can put a bit of lighting down here as well in the centre stack. Cool. Let's see how we're going. Boarding's not looking too shabby. 76 out of 158 boarded at the moment. Using our sim brief flight plan to work out exactly how many passengers we want for this flight today. Let me check the live chat again. New METAR from Doc and Ibiza. Winds 100 degrees at 5 knots, 060 to 150 degrees, all the nines, broken at 1,800, 30 degrees Celsius. The temperature. Dew point plus 24, QNH 1011. Redmaster, you need to make sure that the time of departure is after the boarding time in the sim, if that makes sense. Otherwise, it doesn't work because it basically says if your flight plan was for 5 hours ago, you wouldn't be flying now because it doesn't match up. So it doesn't then allow you to use that, if that makes sense. Okay, that's all looking good. Neil's enjoying the tunes. Still waiting for the passengers. Let's have a look at Navigraph then. If you're new, don't forget to hit subscribe throughout the live stream today. Give us a like as well. On to Navigraph. Tailwind departure. Runway 24, so it's going to be taxiing down to Hotel 4 or Hotel 3 on Charlie. We're down here right at the very bottom, so as we said before, we're going to turn right out onto the apron, probably Bravo and then Charlie, Hotel 3. Departing 241 degrees, we're going to climb up to 2,100 feet, max 230 knots by IB 600. And then for the EPAMA 2 Echo departure, we'll then turn northbound 323 degrees to IB 601. Again, max 230 knots. Up to at or above 4,000 feet, so still climbing away. And then 013 degrees up to EPAMA, where we'll continue to climb up and above flight level 100.
And we are anticipating a departure runway 06.
What we can do is we can wind our altitude up to something like, I don't know, 16,000 feet, why not? We're on Unicom, and then we can just leave it in LNAV, VNAV for it to then focus on the different SIDs and stuff. But as you can see at the bottom here, for the initial ATC clearance, if we had tower on, or Ibiza radar, whatever it's called, for approach, we'd have to climb up to 6,000 and wait for other instructions from ATC. There's the Ibiza VOR, 117.8 in grey. That's what we've tuned there, and that's why we've also put in a course of nav1 of 242 degrees, which is also set to 242, the runway heading. Nice and easy. On Volanta. I might have crashed a desktop twice and loaded in both sim wings and iniBuild scenery today, which is why there's already a green line for today. I'm tired. It's been a busy few days. Yeah, heading outbound over the coast, south-westerly, and then heading up north away from Ibiza. So actually it's reverse of this. Flip that on its head, go the other way. So we're departing up to EPAMA. Overhead Tarragona, just west of Barcelona. Over the Pyrenees, Bordeaux, La Rochelle, Angers, Saint-Lô, over towards the Isle of Wight, descending down past Portsmouth, and then up towards HEMEL Hempstead to join the HEMEL 1 Bravo arrival. And we're expecting with the weather at Birmingham, ILS runway 33 approach. Should be good. I do like Birmingham. Grew up there. All my holidays began there. Russell, hello. Sadly, I haven't flown since May.
7 mile final, runway 24.
Gateway service complete. And it's still not advising anything else for us at the moment, so we can isolate that as well while we wait for boarding to complete here. I think we've still got a couple of passengers. Yeah. Oh no, he's off. Is that all of them? Such a great livery. You can download it on flightsim.to. Quickest way to go to britishafgate.com/liveries, and you'll find all the links to the various liveries by TAPC and everybody else as well there. Right. APU's on and running, generating power. Gonna have a quick check of the checklist as we go here. So we have to set the parking brake. All the guards are closed. Exit lights on auto, guard closed, ground power is disconnected. We're on APU already. Lights as required. We've got logo lights on and nav lights on. IRS is already on nav. We've done our warnings. Electric hydraulic pumps on automatic already. Yaw dampers already on. Window heating at the top right. Those little green 4 lights up here, they're on. APU's on and bleeding as well, with packs on as well. Isolation valve is open. FMC, oops, that's a nice close-up of the seat. Good grief. QNH is set 1011. Transponders on 2000. We're still boarding at the moment. We're still waiting for another bus to arrive. I think, not really sure. Takeoff data set, cruise altitude pressure panel is set. I'm going to have a look at the takeoff performance. It's telling us we need a landing altitude set of 50 up here, so we'll just flick that across one, and it pings it across to 50. Oh, hello, there's somebody landing down there. There's a lot of Osprey. How cool does that look? Let's try and capture that, shall we, before we all start to whiz away. God. So this is GSX now with the frames, look.
Ibiza traffic, LM 14908, taxiing holding point Hotel 1, runway 06.
And then all of a sudden, the frames have reappeared. Is it almost done? Boarding passengers now still. So we've got 83% bags. Alrighty. So, as we can tell at the moment then with the METAR, it keeps changing here at Ibiza, which means that we're probably at the centre of a bit of low pressure or a cold front, that sort of thing. And we're kind of, there's a lot of very unstable air around the airfield effectively. That's what probably is the easiest way of saying it. So we can be quite crazy. Tom, hello to you. Yes, if it is. I think it might be actually, yeah. So on flightsim.to, there's a lot of GSX profiles. We've downloaded them for This ini builds left entry aft. This ini builds Ibiza scenery and also Macco Simulations Birmingham Airport scenery. Both got profiles for them, and they're created by somebody called Tom. I assume it's the Tom in the live chat, in fact, Tom Berry. So we are using those. They're able to be downloaded on flightsim.to. Just search in the GSX profiles section for the airport, i.e. EGBB, and it will come up. Okay, that's that bit done. Where's the rest of the checks? MSP set departure, we've just briefed that, and the flight directors are on as well.
Just vacated the runway. Are you taxiing? 14908.
I'm just going to hold here and see what happens. I'm right down the far end. I think there's a bit of confusion about what runway's in use. I think I heard someone taxiing to 06, so I've just parked right down the end for the minute.
Yes, Scandinavian, this is KLM 14908. I will be taxiing to runway 08. I'm waiting for you. Taxi in.
Box A, you correct. Ibiza is the focal point of wind now. Wind is coming from every direction. So at that point, it becomes just basically the preferential runway system. I think it's very difficult to keep changing the runway. We're going to use 24 for departure. EPAMA to Echo.
Last station, say again.
24 seems to be the active, but I mean, if that's some run unit, come go ahead.
Boarding completed. Catering completed.
Any more traffic on runway 24?
Yeah, for Osprey 165 is configured for departure on 24 shortly.
Roger, I'll change it to 24. Configured for 24 shortly as well.
So, we just check all of these. We've got that good. And actually now, we don't need pushback. So we can go into the QATL and just exit it. We can kill the process. We can look at those, make sure the doors are all turned off, or shut, sorry. Wheel chock's now removed. And anti-collision lights can go on as well.
I'll do Travis 1087, taxiing to the gate via Charlie Bravo.
Got any fuel in the centre tanks here? We've got 0.43. Ibiza traffic. Osprey 165 stand 22 is engine starts on stand. Fuel pumps on.
KLM 14908, change of plans. We will be departing from runway 24.
Mission mode selector both.
2, holding point Hotel 4.
And engine 2 goes to ground. Jack, are you on VAT sim?
Runway 401 Bravo is lining up. Runway
Tell Hassan, you
24.
need to put your question in really if you want some assistance. Oh boy, what's happened to him? I guess he's pushing back. Engine control lever to run. Master caution, air conditioning. Oops. Zone temp. Okay, we've had that before, and that's because wowzers. The temperature in the duct has just gone sky high, so we're going to keep an eye on this. Clear that master caution, that's reset. We're going to go ignition mode ground. We'll keep an eye on this. Basically, if it's hot, it can be a little bit problematic.
Okay, the traffic, Osprey 722, pushing back stand 29, facing...
We'll give it a go in a minute, once the engines are on.
The traffic.
Zato, good stuff.
Ibiza traffic scanner 87 is on stand 23.
And the Rhino 401 Bravo is departing runway 24.
So a bit of a tight one for us. We're going to be turning on that curved line there to head out, basically, from stand 22. A little bit of a taxi brief for you guys. Rab, hello, welcome. Jack, not sure to be honest. This is a bit of an ad hoc stream. I'm effectively working every day until Monday at least, and then I'm away Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There's a little SAS just arrived that we saw touch down briefly. Lap 5, 4-hour departure, engines looking good. We go system page, and looking at the displays, we're going to go full right, central, full left, central, all the way back, central, all the way forwards, central, and this is where Flight Sim needs a bit of a kick up the backside, because you have to wiggle those a little bit, and then you can do your rudder checks nice and smoothly as well, full left and right, checking for deflection on those. Engines look good. Back to our checklists, we want to make sure that the generators go on, the engines like so, pop the APU bleed off, Bopeat's on.
Airliner 401 Bravo, airborne passing 2,500, last call Ibiza.
Engine start switches to continuous. We don't need any anti-ice. Packs will pop to automatic. Isolation valve auto. Left and right recirc fans are on automatic, and we've got the bleeds on as well already, because I did that a minute ago. We need to do elevator trim, so in here, 5.89.
1498 departing runway 24.
.589's about that. That's probably as close as we can get. LNAV, VNAV can go armed. Auto thrust armed. And we're going to do another warning recall. And we've still got master caution for air conditioning. So, zone temperature has actually come down now, look. Come to about 20, so we'll see what happens. We put it back onto automatic. We're going to do trip zone reset, and then we'll do another master caution recall, and we've solved the problem. Lovely. Bar brake can go off, and we're going to think about taxi. So, Ibiza traffic, Osprey 165, taxi to hold point, Hotel 3, runway 24, via the apron, Bravo and Charlie. Ibiza traffic.
Ibiza traffic, Osprey 131 Golf is ready to push back, but we'll wait for oncoming traffic and join on behind company aircraft.
Ibiza traffic, Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, we'll push back, start facing east after the Osprey.
There we are. Out we go, following the arrow.
Ibiza traffic.
Pop the taxi light on as well.
Traffic, Osprey 722, taxiing,
And auto brake's already on RTO. And we turn right there. What we'll be doing is having a quick look at the nav display to make sure all of that is working as it should. Check left and right for the turn left. Then when we turn left, we're going to look at the nav display to make sure the compass and also the standby compass is all working as expected. Dave, hello buddy, welcome. Oh, the 737-800 is remarkably good, yeah, absolutely. Let's put terrain on. I'm going to flick that across now to TARA, and I'm going to put traffic on, bring that to 10 nautical miles. V-speeds are good. And round we go on Bravo, for then a left turn on Charlie.
Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, 27, push back, face east, Ibiza traffic.
Looking left and right, we're clear. I can see one on the runway. using Bravo, one thing you've got to think about is, on Unicom especially, aircraft that might be on final approach, because this is a high-speed exit here, so they might actually come off the runway and come straight towards you as you're turning on this junction, so it might be wise, if you have got one on short final, to hold short perhaps. Ibiza's looking very busy. Jack, yeah, unfortunately that is just a horrendous add-on. One, in fact, we were advising at the time, do not buy, but people still bought it. But hey ho.
Ibiza traffic, Seabird 456, pushing back, gate 28.
Ibiza traffic comes at 1 kilo, starting engine stand 13.
Ibiza's looking busy, it's great. We've got lots of Osprey. Both the Sim Wings and iniScene Ibiza sceneries, folks, are very good. A couple of guys in the Phoenix today as well. Don, welcome, hope you're okay. Ryan, good morning as well. Surprised I have any time off. I'm pulling effectively about 16-hour shifts every day at the moment, so very, very busy indeed with what's gone on, sadly. But it needs all of us to chip in and do our bit, so.
Ibiza traffic up to 774, fixing the Bravo and Charlie, runway 24, etc.
Newbrick's just out of Jersey now, doing Jersey, Belfast, Manchester, Alicante. Wowzers, that is a heck of a journey for you there. Very nice. There's Phoenix. Unfortunately, Phoenix still haven't sorted out their AI model, so yeah, the wipers work, but the AI model's horrendous.
Pushing back from 1030.
Osprey livery looks fantastic on that. Badger's on his way as well. There's an Asobo blob.
722, taxi on Charlie
Have some nice. You tying it in to fit in with our arrivals, are you, buddy? Or you just flying it anyway and seeing what time you arrive, sort of thing? GG Gabes, it is raining indeed at the moment. Just as a reminder, if you are tuning in prior to our takeoff here at Ibiza, the winds currently are 100 degrees at 5 knots, so we've got a tailwind takeoff. But the winds are variable between 060 and 150 degrees, but a few minutes ago they were the opposite direction, so we're pretty much at a front at the moment, a cold front, and it's very, very changeable weather with quite an unstable atmosphere around Ibiza at the moment. So we're sticking with runway 24. So it does potentially give us a tailwind, but we'll see what happens. Broken cloud at 1,800 feet, 30 degrees, and QNH 1011.
Alpha Charlie.
Ibiza traffic, Osprey 131, starting taxi to runway 24. We'll follow on behind.
What it's actually done, in fact, with that, now I've reran the performance with the new winds, is it's told us to the M1 limit to change to a takeoff 1. It's therefore also deleted our takeoff speeds.
Ibiza traffic lot 9015, taxiing on
147,
to
157.
Hotel 4 for runway 24.
Still flat 5. In fact, no. I beg your pardon. It wants toga, folks.
Runway 24 via apron, Alpha Charlie
because of the tailwind.
Osprey 820. Thank you, sir.
V speeds are the same though, 135, 137, 147. Jolly good. And we're at the hold. So I think this is our first toga departure in the 737-800, I believe. Very exciting. Because it's a tailwind, we have to take off with toga thrust, basically. Zato, I'll leave that up to folks in the members lounge, I think. So those of you channel members, got a suggestion for a November registration for the MD-11 in X plane with the Osprey livery, then do let Bakazato know. Right, at the holds. Fuel flow, reset rates. Boss lights, strobe and steady. Taxi lights off, runway turn off lights on, landing lights on. Definitely forgot to turn the APU off, but hey ho. What I'll do is I'll just park here and I'll give it a minute. I'm going to have a quick check of everything else. That looks good. Do a little master caution thing. Might have forgotten the seatbelt signs. Oh, shows you though, doesn't it? Fatigue. It's a nasty old beast. Right, here we are. All configured. And we're ready to go, I think. Doc, I did not. Big O, I'd love to. I would absolutely love to, yes. Ibiza traffic, Osprey 165 is lining up runway 24 via Hotel 3, taking off EPAMA 2 Echo departure, Ibiza traffic. APU starting to turn itself off now as well, which is good, on this little spool down that it does. Oh look, there's the old Sim Update 9 problem with click spots. Phoenix one there with its weird gear. Rightio, we're ready. So without further ado, we're going to go to set our brakes, hold it on the brakes to 40% here. We'll make use of the toga departure for the tailwinds. Off the brakes, stick forward. And toga. Nobody's called up, Doc, on short final. 80 knots. God, look at this acceleration. Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up.
Probably the traffic
Oh, I love it. Absolutely epic. Ibiza traffic, Osprey 165's airborne, passing 800. Ibiza traffic. TMDA. RTO for the auto brake to off, and gear is up, no lights. So we'll turn the system off now. Fuel pumps and the sensor tanks are running empty, so let's pop those off, and the runway turn off lights can go off. Engine start goes to off. We can pop the logo light off as well while we're here. Got a rather dramatic loss of performance here on frames all of a sudden. We've gone to 10. $12 frames. Interesting. And we're waiting for this next turn, so we're going to pop the flaps up as we're accelerating away. And it looks like it's set the speed constraint to 230 knots here, which is good. And it looks like our performance has come back. Good old Microsoft Flight Simulator doing its weird stuff. Shuts, hello!
I'll be traffic changing, I'll be free to taxi by Apron, Alpha, Charlie.
There's our shadow. Ah, it just disappeared there. That's quite cool, isn't it?
Ibiza traffic, just to point out there's no baby Boeing today.
And climbing away. Quite a bit of nasty cloud around us there as we're flying around a weather cell effectively for our departure. Terminator, yes, that was iniScene LEIB Ibiza. Through transition already, let's go to standard pressure, and we're still holding 230 knots, which is good because that is the that is our actual constraint for this particular section of the departure here until we turn right. We're climbing so quickly at the moment, 8,000 feet already, wow. And that's partly because we're holding this speed constraint here. So we could tame it, we could use vertical speed mode to relax that a little bit. Flaps are up, no lights. Don, yes you can. Just go to britishafgeek.com/liveries and you'll find them all there. VNAV now should move the speed target up, especially as we're through 10,000 feet. There we go. So watch this. Nose is going to come down to reduce our rate of climb to accelerate, but as we also do that, as we hit 250, I think we're going to be over 10,000. So it will change again. It's close. There we are, Bink.
Under traffic, Osprey 722 lining up runway 24 behind arriving traffic.
Center tanks are empty. Jack, every takeoff's a manual takeoff. You don't do an automatic one. Absolutely love it. I like a challenge. I like it to be difficult and problematic on our departures as well. Makes it fun. That's what flight sim's about. Same with approaches as well. I love to hand fly an approach from about 1,000 feet. I feel like you get a lot more back from flight sim as well when you do that and you throw yourself into that challenge.
Traffic, Osprey 722 taking up runway 24 on the EPAMA to DIKRO.
Ibiza traffic, 774, I am 84.
That is one heck of a cumulus cloud there. We've just skirted that as well, that one there. A lot of bad weather behind us. Jack says, I'm struggling with visual landings at the moment, so you want to maintain basically a consistent speed and a consistent rate of descent. And you want to set that picture on the approach as well of the touchdown zone, about middle of the screen, and just target that. Make sure your speed's right, make sure your pitch is right, and it will basically fly itself if you get it right. But it does take a bit of getting used to as well, landing. Zod says the best hand-flown approach he's done was Paro in the A320. Wowzers. Leonardo Lima's busy waiting in the queue for takeoff at Ibiza. Epic. Let's have a look. On Volanta. So you can see there, the purple line was what we planned for 06, and then the wind changed and the METAR and everything changed to 24. And you can see here that our routing has actually taken us a bit of a mirror up towards IPAMA at the moment. We zoom in, we can see that there was one on takeoff there, Gav, Osprey 722.
Osprey 131 Golf lying up runway 24 behind. It's quite easy.
And there's quite a few on. We got Osprey 131 Golf, Neil in his 737-600, what is 737-700 today. Barris, Lot 9015. Charles, Speedbird 456. And Lemonade, Tomjet 1 Victor Kilo. Who else have we got? Flight Sim Simon, Birmingham to Ibiza, EJA 2064. He's just landed. And Chanex 29 Victor Victor off the Birmingham 737-800 on the taxi out. That's all of us. As always, throughout the journey, I will pop all of our screenshots like that into Volanta. And now we're flying through another weather system. Jack, so the PAPIs can be a little bit interesting. The PAPIs are useful in some circumstances, but you need to read the charts because in other circumstances they're unreliable. James, are they passing around the London gin yet? They absolutely are, yes. That's pre-takeoff mandatory drink on board if everybody over 18. Nathaniel, so this is live weather, yes, but it's being fed in by a program called Rex because I still have trust issues with MSFS live weather these days, sadly. So we're using this, trying our best with it. Is Rex worth it, Jack's asking. So it's a bit of a tough question, really. I don't know how to answer it. If you're going to purchase it, get it through Just Flight. Don't get it anywhere else because it's significantly cheaper than anywhere else. Well, a little bit cheaper than anywhere else, I should say. So it saves you a little bit of money towards other add-ons, and that's only a good thing. So go to get it from the Just Flight website if you do. I've got it primarily as a backup, so in short, if we get a scenario where live weather breaks like I did in Sim Update 5 last year, or indeed in recent times as well where it's sort of been a bit problematic as well, then I've got something to fall back on. Those of you who remember unrealweather.blogspot.com, which was what we used ages and ages and ages ago to feed real weather into the sim. I'm sure lots of you remember that. We used it religiously. What we ended up doing was using that all the time, but then it got, I think it broke about Sim Update 5, I think, from memory, but then it was unsupported beyond that. It's not been updated since, so Rex is the only other real sort of weather backup provider. But what I've found as well, and I don't know if this is intended, but if you download Floyd's Epic Clouds on flightsim.to, it makes clouds look incredible. You get some really good presets with it as well. And what I do is I start with like a fluffy porous layer clouds, and then I turn Rex weather on, and it basically gives me Floyd clouds mixed within the live weather, which enhances the visuals a little bit more. So it's worth giving it a go. Flight Sim Simon, nice one. Are you enjoying the H-Jet? It's quite cool, isn't it? Long flight for the H-Jet as well. I'd not heard your announcements though, so I must apologise. I think Doc said that somebody was on short final, so thankfully I was doing a toga departure. Andy says, I've been flying for Fly UK for a while, but starting to find it a little limiting as you can't fly some of the jets like the CJ4, the King Air 350. Any suggestions? It depends on what you would like to do, to be totally honest. It depends what kind of sim experience you want as well out of your own flight simulator. For me, Fly UK now offers a whole lot more because of the 737-800 that PMDG have released. And with that come a huge amount of additional routes with Fly 2, which is a low-cost version of Fly UK, and also the mainline as well. How'd you get the split scimitar wings, Tom's is asking? So it just comes part of the livery package, basically, whichever livery you need. Some of them have blended wings, some of them have split scimitar. If you download the Osprey livery from flightsim.to for the 737-800 for our fleet, there is actually 2 packages that you can download on that one page. There's the blended wing, which is the main file, and then there's the split scimitar, which is the secondary file within that. So get both, and you can enjoy both. Terminator, yeah, it's good. That's a good tip really for 737 flights. Certainly when you turn the autopilot off in the Boeing, it expects you to have the auto thrust off as well. So you need to make sure that you've got your throttles synced up there. Fritz is saying, has anybody compared MSFS live weather to Rex live weather? In effect, Rex live weather updates a little bit quicker, so it's a little bit more up to date and realistic. It's more live, actually. It's probably the best way to say it. It's a little bit more live. I think MSFS live weather trails the refresh of Rex by about 15 minutes. It goes through Meteo Blue and then gets passed through servers towards the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yardy, not sure to be totally honest. I don't know if anybody else in the live chat may have noticed anything similar to what you're describing there. Might be able to help. Keep clicking the likes, folks, as well. James, so do I fancy or prefer Airbus over Boeing, or the other way around? Now, interestingly, when MSFS was released, I was very much all for, what's my custom views here? There we go, that'll do. I was very much for Airbus. I'm a massive fan of Airbus, to be honest. Certainly for flying, I think it is a bit simpler, offers a lot more automation, a bit more intelligent for aircraft systems. So I think real pilots in an Airbus probably find it easier to train on, I think. I don't know. but I was always in the mindset that I would always prefer Airbus, and of course we enjoyed fly-by-wires A320nx for quite a while before any other aircraft began to sort of release for the sim. But the 737's really surprised me, and it's completely pulled me into the world of Boeing. So this is by far my favourite. I feel like you get a lot more from it when you do complete flights. And it's a little bit more involved. You have to make a lot more decisions, many more decisions than you would in an Airbus. Airbus is very much focused on data entry and automation, whereas this still requires probably about 30, 40, 50% of all the decisions to be made by the pilot. John says my aircraft's working okay now. Screenshots looked horrendous of me on pushback. Yeah, that was you then doing the floating and the flicking around. Sam, hello to you. Journey today should take about 1 hour 50, 2 hours roughly. Of course, we had a little bit of flight planning to do at the beginning, which we don't always show on this channel, to be fair. Usually I'm spawned in and I'm ready to go, just top and tail the V-speeds and away we go, but I wanted to show you guys a little bit more of the ground stuff today as well, so hopefully you enjoyed that at the beginning, whilst we enjoyed GSX loading as well. Jake saying, is this a real world flight? It is a real world route, operated by various different airlines like EasyJet, TUI, but we're flying Osprey Airways, our channel airline today. Automated, good morning. Indeed, yeah. Nice to be able to do a bit of flight sim as a bit of a break. There's some contrails of an aeroplane flying the other direction. You can just see him actually. He's going to pop underneath our split scimitar there at the base. There he is. So he's actually going diagonal away from us. Very cool. Oh, Jake, that would have been epic. That would have been epic. I'm not sure if there's one actually in real life that's operating at the same time as us. I haven't checked. It was a bit of a last-minute decision last night to do the stream because, in effect, what I do for work, everything's changed, everything's ripped up, all the days off are cancelled, that sort of thing. So I wasn't sure if I'd be working today. We were told yesterday that we weren't, and therefore I was able to stream today. Ozzy! Wow, this is member for 8 months. Thank you for your ongoing support there. Really appreciate it. Almost at top of climb, I think. When we get to Birmingham, we get to deboard with GSX once again with the custom profile. Jack says he's started making observations on fuel consumption for fuel planning. He wants to learn TAP, weight, wind, speed, direction. Is there something I can use to confirm my workings? Well, I guess the only way would be to compare it against the real world version of it as you're actually doing it, as you're executing what you've calculated, to see if it works out. Probably the only way I can think of at the moment off the top of my head. We want to keep an eye on that aeroplane, who is almost level with us and on a converging course. He's going to cross in front of us actually. Neil's flying over a thunderstorm and you can hear it in the cockpit. That's pretty epic. Right, so we've got somebody that's going to appear any second. He's 10 nautical miles away actually, so he should be clear enough. And he'll be below us now by almost 1,000 feet. Not sure if we will see him. Hopefully we do. I do like a VATSIM fly past. It's always exciting. It's going to be on 10 o'clock, I think. Look at that for a view. This is why I'm jealous of real world airline pilots. They've got the best office view in the world. Well, he's come up as a T8 there. It's highlighted the aeroplane, so let's do the shade. Yeah, there he is. Zoom, zoom. Just see him there, a little speck. No contrails from him though. Pretty nifty. I can imagine Avsim. An invalid route is an easy way to trigger the dock. What a remarkable aeroplane. Jack, yeah, sunsets in Microsoft Flight Simulator are always pretty epic. I mean, I've been working so much recently, I've not really kept track of any add-ons or any updates from the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator either. So do we, I mean, have we got a date yet for Sim Update 10 being released, or is that all still in the air, not really known? Barris can see lightning and hear thunder. Good grief, I can't. Maybe I've just missed it. Ah, interesting. So Ashley put on there when we were mentioning earlier about that frames drop that we had even after deactivating GSX, and potentially it was the fact that a load of us are flying along in Phoenixes, so it's loading up all of the Phoenix models but the real actual models with no LODs except for just rendering the real aeroplane that I've got. Automator says this week sometime. Wowzers, coming in real quick then. Paul, nice one. Flying in from Vienna in the SAS flight that parked up next to us. Good effort. John's autopilot wouldn't engage. You're in the Phoenix, aren't you, John, I think, today? Yeah, hello to you, welcome. I think it was yourself, wasn't it, that was suggesting doing Tel Aviv to Birmingham recently in Discord. Jack's watching us live for the very first time. Great to have you with us. Hope you are enjoying it. Mark, good afternoon as well. Did you figure out, John, why your autopilot wasn't engaging there, or is it still a little bit unknown with the Phoenix? %, of the way there already. 1 hour 25 to go. Barris says, and Gav saying my ground speed is quite slow. What's I mean, our ground speed is 460. It's pretty normal, but what ground speeds have you guys got? Try Mach 7.9, see what it gives us. Juice says, any tips for someone new to VATSIM? Take the time learning it. Have a look at my top 10 tips video that I did a little while ago. Top 10 tips for getting started on VATSIM. I basically offered 10 different things that I find quite important for people that want to start on VATSIM. And then from there, I would probably say, look at creating, or look at following the tutorials that I've created on the channel as well. We've got a number of different VATSIM tutorials to help you get started. All the basics, filing flight plans and that sort of thing. John, it's just a straight and level thing then. It depends on your weather as well, folks, behind. I've got a crosswind of 18 knots. It depends what you guys have got, because I know you're all using live weather, aren't you? I mean, I'm on Mach 80 now, and I'm still, my ground speed's still 470-ish. 490 knots at Mach 7.8. Good grief, Gav. That's great. Have you got a tailwind, folks? At 62. Wowzers, yeah. So you have actually got quite a bit of a tailwind there. 62 as well is insane. Wowzers. Well, I mean, yeah, I can't go any higher than this. Look, Mach 7.8 and my ground speed's 471. So if you're flying along at minimum clean speeds, just overtake me, I suppose. John's got a 40 knot tailwind live weather. Neil's ground speed's 500 knots. Wowzers. Well, I don't understand why the discrepancy is so high between Rex and live weather. Average wind's 205 at 47, so yeah, actually the Rex weather's not correct, is it? Does Rex do higher altitude speeds? It's got winds aloft. It's using the Global Forecast Model GFS from NCEP. Weird. Mark says he purchased the 737-600 to introduce himself to airliners and loved it so much he's already also purchased the 800 yesterday. Yeah, it's a great introduction, isn't it? The problem is I used live weather the other day, spawned in, turned live weather on, and it crashed the desktop. So as much as I'm really tempted at the moment to hit that button, turn live weather on, I am a little bit concerned, and I don't really want to. Maybe if I do a direct TUPAR, that'll keep me a little bit ahead. I could do a couple of direct twos, can't I? That might solve it. Perhaps. Good grief, there's HEMEL already. I mean, we have that. I mean, that's 640 nautical miles to be fair, but. Barris, no, oddly enough. Jack, the ticker tape at the top is the Streamlabs donation links. GIROM is asking, do I work in the aviation industry? So I kind of do at the moment, but very, very loosely around the outskirts of it. But I can't really discuss what I do, sadly. I mean, Faris, it just might be a coincidence. But turn live weather on and I get a crash. It could just be pure coincidence, but I don't know. Jeff, yeah, I mean, Ibiza's never really been anything that I've been interested in, to be honest. Andy, nice. So was it saying that your that the airfield was closed or something on that then, or? James, I'll probably say pick an aircraft that you want to learn and then focus on learning it. Learn about the systems, learn about, so if you can find checklists and things, then download those. If you can find tutorials, so if you like the idea of the Aerosoft CRJ, then you can check out my CRJ tutorials. Same with the 737 as well. I've done a load of tutorials for that. So have a look at those. Download the checklists I've created. I've done a checklist for the Fenix A320, which you can also use for the fly-by-wire A32NX, to be totally honest. Yeah, there'll be differences, but for the purpose of learning, you could just skip over certain bits. And you could also download the checklist for the 737 I've created. Yeah, in effect, well, basically, part of the agreement for having the channel is I don't discuss what I do for work. For them to sign off to approve me to do it, basically. Andy, that's pretty cool. I didn't know there was an option for that. It's quite smart from a Sobo for once. Try and find us all on the pack here, see where we're at. Just passed over, well, we passed over Reyes a little earlier on. I've tried to do a bit of a shortcut. I can see Gav there in his A320. Neil. I've taken a bit of a sneaky little shortcut really. It takes us across France all the way to TUPAR. Quite far up actually on our route. I'm hoping that will just give us a couple of minutes just to keep ahead. Because if I go any higher, we'll be flying into the ticker tape. And I think maybe, where are we going to? Yeah, we're going to TUPAR. I think just before we get to TUPAR, I might do a direct to DIKRO on the French coast near Cherbourg. And again, that might buy us a bit of time, perhaps. Brits, yeah. Every year I have to get it reauthorised. But I don't mind. Jack's going all out, but bought a knee board. Very swish. Neil, nice. What flavour noodles? I've not had noodles for a little while. In fact, I've not had a pot noodle for a very long time either, actually. I kind of feel like I'm craving one of those. Let's have a look at Navigraph. So this is obviously dependent on the weather when we get closer towards Birmingham. The METAR currently at VHX is 350 degrees at 4 knots for the wind. Variable between 260 degrees and 040 degrees. Ceiling of visibility is okay. 18 degrees Celsius for temperature. The dew point is plus 10 degrees Celsius. QNH1012. Yeah, interesting. We should expect a fairly thick blanket of cloud at higher levels though, up to sort of 8, 9, 10,000 feet I would imagine. But what we can do is we can put ILS 33 in. Looking at Navigraph as well. Hopefully if I keep this split screen, we unpin things. We don't need our beefer. HEMEL 1 Bravo is the SID. So there we are, HEMEL at flight level 220, Buzzard, over Cranfield and Northampton Sywell, well in Halifax, up towards Honolulu, and then in for the approach. But we will have to vector at some point closer because the position of Honolulu is actually beyond the actual localizer. So what usually happens here at Birmingham is you get towards Welling or even Halifax and you begin to get vectored, or even at HEMEL, to be totally honest, you tend to then start to get vectored around HEMEL, Buzzard, in towards Yoda. So there'll be a fair bit of self-vectoring involved to then align with the ILS. So we'll have to tune 110.1. We'll have to tune the BHX NDB for any go-arounds. There's a hold there. Alternate procedure for the hold shows extend outbound leg of Maple holding to 7 DME to send 2000, turn left to intercept localizer for the like an alternate approach here. And there's the Maple holding, very top right. Where do we want here? We want HEMEL 1 Bravo like so. If I just execute that and go to plan, we'll have a look. Descent Avant. There we are. So HEMEL flight level 220, Buzzard, well in, Ufax, and then Honolulu and all that as well into Birmingham. Honolulu, Oscott, Grove. That's because it goes up here. We'll leave those in just in case, but we're unlikely to use them effectively. No setbacks after Grove, that's fine, because there is a discontinuity there. In all likelihood, we're most likely to go well in, Ufax at a push, and then off to CF33 there for the runway. But we'll leave that discontinuity in because it's basically supposed to be there. Apparently we've got an aeroplane level with us somewhere here. Might be Gav. Redmaster, airports like Birmingham are particularly complex because they depart down towards, say if you're taking off from runway 15, they depart straight down towards London. And the airspace around that part of the world anyway is so heavily congested. Don't forget, for example, going southbound towards Heathrow from flights over the US and everything else that go then over Iceland and Scotland down towards London Heathrow, they all fly in via Honolulu, which is overhead Birmingham Airport, so, or at Birmingham Airport effectively, so you have to kind of work that in. If you're NATS, you have to kind of try and fit Birmingham Airport as a regional airport within all of that too. And yeah, I can't see it either, to be honest. Cavo says PMDG versus Phoenix. This is a regular question that comes up every stream actually recently. Saying, what are my thoughts? I like them both equally, can never decide which to fly. So, my preference by a long shot is the PMDG 737, simply because performance is really, really good. It is by far, with how complex the simulation is, the best performing aircraft in the sim. Whereas the Phoenix, for me, is actually the worst performing aircraft in the sim, which is a huge contrast, really. And as we know, performance in flight simulation is quite important, sadly. I also feel like the 737 is more immersive, more rewarding to fly. And then beyond that, I think the next best fun aircraft to fly, I think, are looking at the Just Flight 146 and the Aerosoft CRJ, to be totally honest. Yeah. Wrongway's asking, is there much of a difference between the 700 and the 800 from PMDG? The 800 is a bit more, it's a little bit heavier, it's a little bit longer. The risk of tail strike goes up quite significantly. I think you'd be hard pushed to tail strike a 737 unless you rotate too slow during a takeoff roll. But the 800, at your V1 and rotate speeds, you start to pull the nose back, rotate. You can tail strike that so easily because of how long it is in comparison. It's, the 800 is longer than an A320. The 700 is shorter than an A320. The Abro RJ is going to be good fun, isn't it, Rab, from Just Flight? It's going to have a custom FMC and a redesigned EFB. In fact, Kevo's just mentioned it as well. I love the CRJ, it's great. Or, to be fair, we've not flown it for a very long time, but Macco F28 is going to be good fun. Have you guys seen actually the updates from Bluebird Simulations, the 757-200? They've offered a it's only a screenshot again, I guess, but they've offered an extra screenshot showing us the aircraft configured, I think it was, for an auto land. So that's very exciting. Jack, yeah, the CLJ is very hands-on, very, very hands-on. Think 737 with no automation. It's great fun though. Really good fun to kind of learn and get used to. Jack, I'd probably suggest there, with the CLJ, go to my playlists on the channel. I've got CLJ playlists for it, and look at the ones labelled Episode 1, Episode 2 and Episode 3. And follow that, same flight, give it a go. And I think you'd start to learn it quite nicely there. If you can learn the CLJ, the 737 becomes a lot easier as well. Leonardo, I'm not sure. I'd like to think it's going to be an update into the current one, but it's always hard to tell with these things. They may decide to make it an additional program. Lots of low cloud over France at the moment. EFB from PMDG will be coming soon as well. That's something that we can all look forward to. Total redesign. What's going to be the transition into Birmingham? It's going to be usually 6,000, so QNH 1012. I'm going to run that with transition level flight level 75, I think tends to be the standard into Birmingham. $7,500, 7,000. I'll do 7,000. Are there plans for a live stream with General Aviation, PS says? Probably in the sense of a group flight, I would imagine. It's difficult really. On VATSIM, probably not, because VFR is quite difficult on VATSIM, I'm not going to lie. It's quite tricky at the best of times, but and a lot to get your head around as well. trying to work out if Gav's overtaken us yet or not. Oh no, he's behind us there. By 20 miles, okay. That's not bad at all then. Yo-Yo says, should I buy GSX? I really like it. Now it's kind of stabilised a little bit, and people have created really good free-to-download programs, or profiles, sorry, for various airports, like what we used today, the Ibiza one and the Birmingham one. I think it's going to be really good. Providing you download it properly, you install it properly, you'll have no problems at all. And it does offer this extra level of immersion to the sim that you don't really get any other way, to be honest. Just going to try and move this around to try and capture that city that seems to be flying over at the moment. Look at that. Johan, hello to you in South Africa. Good afternoon to you. I hope you're well. James, I would love to be a railroad pilot, but to get there, you need to have about £120,000 to be able to become one, which is the problem. And actually, it's really in high demand at the moment, as you're saying, but the pay hasn't really increased to join that demand, to match that demand. So Wizz Air, for example, they will pay you about £19,000 as a new second officer a year, which is just a disgrace. But hey, you can blame all of the passengers for wanting tickets for £1. Same with Ryanair and all that. That's the problem with low-cost carriers. And what it does...
Thank you so much for everything you do.
Oh wow, Jack. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you, buddy. Dropping a whopper of a donation there, a tip. £60. Thank you very much. And you're most welcome. Wowzers. Got himself straight on the front of a ticker there. Really appreciate that, buddy. Usually, PS, when we do GA, we will do it on it's a server called Join FS. So it's a bit like VATSIM, but it's without the ATC, and it means that people on X-Plane, people on MSFS and FSX can all connect in together, and we do group flights on there usually. We were discussing in the members lounge the other day doing another group flight soon in the Twin Otter, the Aerosoft Twin Otter, which will be good fun. So we just need to think of a juicy route for that, really. Who knows? But as Doc's saying, every stream realistically is a bit of a group flight. For those of you confident in using VATSIM properly, we usually get quite a lot of people assisting us there. Barris, I did no VIAs. ILS 33, HEMEL 1 Bravo, and then no VIAs, if that makes sense. The final portion of it will be self-vectored onto the ILS. But then we've got Birmingham Approach online, so who knows? This rural section of France that you fly over in the sim is always quite nice to look at, quite spectacular. Looks amazing, doesn't it, in MSFS? Jared, welcome aboard. Thanks for subscribing. Dream Team Aviation, Foxis as well. Welcome, folks. Great to have you on board with us. If you're watching in the background, give us a wave, hit subscribe, and say hello in the live chat. And don't forget, folks, keep pushing those likes up, see if we can hit 100 again by the time we arrive at Birmingham. Glenn, welcome. Very well, thanks. Quite tired, working really hard, but it's all worthwhile. It's all for a good reason, of course. Been rocking the Osprey livery in Australia recently, flying Skyways at the moment. Good to see you back flying. Yeah, thank you very much. Good to see you enjoying the Osprey livery and also enjoying Fly UK as well. We need to do some flights in Australia actually, so don't let me forget there is a really nice Qantas Retro PMDG 737-800 livery on flightsim.to that Ashley pointed out a little while ago, and we need to use that, so we'll come up with a bit of a route. I know on the 8th of October somebody pointed out there is a VATSIM newbies event in Australia, so I'm going to try, if work allows, you know, timings of shifts and things like that allow for it, I'm going to try and connect and take part in that morning event, which will be from 10 o'clock UK time in the morning, 900 Zulu, for a couple of hours. Just enjoyed the group flight hopping around the Caribbean, yeah. That was a good one. One that I really want to do actually is maybe some hops around the Maldives, perhaps, in the Twin Otter. That could be quite cool. There's a lot of freeware scenery for the Maldives, so who knows, maybe that's something we can plan. Blast about and have a bit of fun, not worry about procedures and things for a change. No doubt we'll have somebody barrel roll a Twin Otter again. Rab, yeah, Barra's always a good one for the Twin Otter. We've done that quite a few times though, I have to say. Those of you not familiar with the Osprey Airways livery as well, you can download this from the website, and it includes a bit of a custom cabin with our safety demonstration card, safety card for the 737-800, and our in-flight magazine, Soar, Summer 2022 edition. Still with an Easter egg in the cabin that I don't think anybody's found yet, interestingly enough. Brits, no, somebody mentioned having a second streamer rig, but no, I've not really toyed with it. As you're saying, it's quite expensive, so I haven't really got the disposable income at the moment, or spare cash to sort of make that work. One thing we haven't done is painted the bulkhead. Maybe that's something we could do. Like a bit of paint on that bulkhead there. Maybe do something with the galley as well, perhaps. I'm gonna go direct to Ang. Cut out that. Try and keep ahead of the pack, because we've got a heck of a crosswind, and everyone else has got a big old tailwind. Yeah, the 737-800 is great as well. It's my go-to for anything. If I'm not sure, if I'm tired, if I'm thinking, you know what, I just want something easy but also immersive, something also that can throw some challenges at you at times, the 737 is the best option, just all round. Saba was good fun, wasn't it? Yeah, we had a few people splash down into the water there. What the hell, Doc? Oh dear. Stand by, folks. I'm not sure if Doc has been hacked. How can I change this? What are you doing, Doc? For the live chat. Customization. It's not on that. Has Doc been hacked? Right, Doc, if you're watching, I've removed you as moderator for the time being until I work out what on earth is going on there. Very odd. Who knows? Very, very weird. Sorry about that, Shuts. And Glenn as well, apologise for that. I'm not sure what on earth was going on there with Doc's account. Oh, he said it's unintended. God, you left us hanging there, Doc. I'm going to drop you on a DM on Discord just to see if you have been hacked or something. Good grief. Neil's back after having his noodles and hacking Doc's account. Oh no, dear me. That's how rumours start. Rich, now I wouldn't worry about that too much. I'm hoping at some point in the near future I might be able to maybe up my what you call it, up the spec of my current rig. Maybe just get a new rig entirely and go from there, and then I'm going to have lots of spare stuff. In fact, I'll have a second rig at that point to then stream with. Neil, nice. Honestly, I had me right confused there. Doc back to the green team. I've put him back as moderator for now. We'll see how it goes. He might catch my wrath if it happens again. Oh, there's some lightning. Even the clouds are angry at Doc. Look at that. Rex Weather's so angry, the clouds are attacking us. Oh my god, what the... John will be back in a minute. He's just beating his kid. I shouldn't joke about that stuff. Who knows? He's just giving his kid a right old rollicking for almost getting him demoted. Oh my god, look at that ridge line. That's like almost like a split between two frontal systems there. That's incredible. I've never seen that in Flight Sim. Literally a big old line cutting through there between two fronts. That is amazing. Glenn Shuts, you're not timed out. We can all see you again. That was Doc's kid smashing his phone screen. I want to know if Gav's TARA is getting all manner of sort of little alerts and things. These tiny little popcorn clouds as well. Look at that massive circle of nothing as well. That will be, I'm trying to remember my meteorology stuff now. A col? I think it's a col, where there's a whole lot of crazy weather and then just a little area of nothing. Almost like the eye between the, eye of the storm sort of thing. I wonder if we see it further up here. Oh my god, I pressed the wrong button again. Oh well, we'll use horrible drone camera mode. I can't really see it. Okay, let me reset the drone cam. It's the 737-800 by the way. Drone speed 7. Rotation speed of about 18. That works pretty well for rotating and moving around the cabin quite nicely there. Weather's going a bit crazy actually, and that cloud looks ominous. Gav's is over there somewhere behind us. Can't really see him though, but he's kind of behind the wingtip a bit. Everybody's catching up. Good grief. I'm gonna go direct DIKRO. Trying to get around this cloud a bit as well. TJC, I did not know that. JCM, hello to you. Yeah, drone camera can certainly trick your eyes every now and again. Ah, we just passed over that. Neil's got a 50 knot tailwind. Holy moly. I think you guys are all going to be getting there first. Ah, now Rex is updating again. So the one thing it can't do by the looks of it is a proper Windsor loft on Rex live weather still. And it's been a product that's been out for about 2 years. That's quite frustrating. Kevo saying, how is Macco Sims Birmingham? It's not been updated for a little while, to be honest. It's almost like the development has paused on it, which is a bit weird. Quite frustrating, I suppose, but who knows. Hopefully, at some point in the near future, Macco Simulations will drop a little update to it just to polish off things like the terminal and everything else. I am still using Rex Glenn, yeah. I'm getting frustrating behaviour, or at least either it's coincidence or otherwise, with live weather. And then a crash to desktop usually around the same time as loading in that live weather, so I've tended to sort of stop using it. At least until Sim Update 10. When Sim Update 10 comes, I'll start turning on live weather again. Captain Mooka hit, thank you very much for subscribing, welcome on board. Yeah, Gab's basically going to overtake us. I don't think that's avoidable either. Mr. Turtle DK, hello to you, welcome as well. Subscribing to the channel. Welcome aboard. Ashley, yeah, I've not heard anything since March from Macco Simulations, sadly. And there's nothing else that's going to be worked on, fortunately. Remind me what was promised about Manchester, I forget. Rab saying weather is working so good in Sim Update 10 beta for the live weather, that's good to know. Yeah, but absolutely. LEX for mini builds would be great, but performance is going to be key. Their London Heathrow scenery was very heavy on that, to be honest, on performance. Initially it's quite good, and I can just about use it actually, it's nice and smooth, but some people's systems really struggle with that builds Heathrow, and LEX is about twice the size, so optimization is going to be the key word for that, I think. So watch this space. I don't know if it would be good or not. I'm in no doubt the quality of the airport will be fantastic, but performance will outweigh any quality if it's too heavy on the frames. Dave, hello. Yes, EMA is being created by the fantastic PARI DevCo. It's in progress at the moment. The tower's been completed, I think, and a couple of other buildings. So yeah, PARI DevCo are making East Midlands Airport, and I would probably envisage it being complete in the next 3 months, roughly, approximately. But he's given no time frame. That's just me throwing in a guess there. Could be. I think it will definitely be out by the end of the year. Juliet Charlie Mike, I have flown around Antarctica, yes. Birdman saying apparently Fenix have ripped out and replaced the VNAV code and some other flight model code. Interesting. I mean, they are long overdue an update to fix a lot of their glaring bugs and issues. I find the Fenix more frustrating the more I fly it, if that makes sense. Just the bugs are now starting to frustrate me. And the performance annoys me quite a lot with Fenix. Yeah, if the standard of Pyrex Belfast is anything to go by, we can really look forward to East Midlands. It's going to be epic. And I've only ever flown out of there a few times in real life, with back in the days of Air 2000 and those walking gates, which will be interesting. When it does release, I'll try and create some sort of GSX profile for it as well at East Midlands. Mr. Turtle saying, can you show the airplane cam? What do you mean? Neil, no transition. You just want to click HEMEL 1 Bravo, ILS 33, that is it. Don't insert a transition, a via, don't insert a via. James asking, will I be doing Cross the Pond in October? If we've got a date for it, can't remember. I think there was a date for it and I'm working, I think. I'm not sure from memory. October's going to be a tough month. The first 2 weeks of October, I need to be really preparing for my promotion process at work, basically. Yeah, I don't think Guy Stansted's coming, sadly. I don't know. They seem to be very, very busy making their contracted airports through the MSFS World Updates, but I'd imagine they're earning an extra 0 on top of what they would have done by creating Gaia, Stansted and other scenery that would have been sold remotely, so I guess business is business. Jack saying, is there any airport scenery to avoid? Lots, to be honest. More of a question of what would you want to... How do I word it? It's more of a question of if you're interested in a particular airport, what developers are available for it. Some of them are just rubbish, some of them are very, very good. This one, Mr. Turtle. It says October 2022, this year's going across the pond east, 22nd of October. I think I'm working that day. Yes, I am working that day actually, so unfortunately I can't take part. I'm on night shift. Which means I won't be able to complete across the pond in time. Except for in Concorde, but the Concorde isn't bat simmable for those sort of events, so I won't use it. We've got landing rate monitor fired up as well, tracking our Osprey flight. So when we land, for those of you who aren't familiar, we'll have that pop up on the screen telling us what our touchdown rating will be as well, with the foot per minute in G. Gav says, Birmingham are expecting 11 arrivals in a 10-minute window. Oh dear, that's guaranteed holding then, isn't it? Mr. Turtle, no, this is our Channels airline, our Channels virtual airline. We've got, wowzers, oh incredible, we have got Birmingham Ground, Birmingham Tower and Birmingham Radar online for us. How epic is that? Information Oscar, runway 33 in use, surface wind 320 degrees at 3 knots, varying between 230 degrees and 040 degrees, Cav OK, temperature plus 18, dew point plus 10, QNH 1012, and information Oscar is the letter, basically the information number. I wish Osprey was a real airline. I think it would be epic. Fritz, you follow the settings in the Osprey Airways bit in the website. It shows you a tick box thing basically to add, and it will give you the pop-up, and then you need to obviously inside the sim menu you need to activate software tooltips as well. Yeah, now is the time, I guess, to proactively try and work out spacings and make sure we've all got 2 minutes apart. I mean, I can see Gav, Neil, and Gav and Neil are very close together. Charles, BA 456. Oh, hold on, that's just refreshed. In fact, Charles is very close as well. Speedbird 456, Osprey 131 Golf, very close together. So they need to proactively sort out spacing there to try and get 2 minutes. What we got as well, Osprey 1171, Skyworker, it's quite far back actually, Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, still about 20 minutes behind. They're okay, but they're very close together too, they need to be spaced. then it's me and Gav. How do you want to work the spacing, Gav? Mr. Turtle, if I had the money, I would love to start an airline. I think that would be great. It would be a good way of maybe not doing it. Like becoming a pilot, I would get to then manage an airline, which I think would be just as interesting. It'd be incredibly difficult though, but maybe through that I could actually then become a pilot and have the airline pay for it. Yeah, Gav, I mean, if it's easier, you could overtake me because your ground speed is a lot. You've got the tailwind, haven't you? So my ground speed's 459 at Mach 8. So if it's easier, you could overtake me. Just let me know. Right, let's think about tuning for the arrival, because we've got 100 miles to top of descent now. We've configured for the HEMEL 1 Bravo, which is going to bring us in by HEMEL flight level 220, Buzad Welling, Bufax, Honolulu. We've got a controller online, so we know we've got that to expect. We could get hold at Oscott, we could get hold at Honolulu, we could get hold anywhere. We could be told to enter a hold with a left or right turn at Welling, for example. Depends on how busy it is and what the controller wants us to do, but we've configured for that, and we've got a routing up to Grove where we then have a discontinuity because it will require vectors to then get round to the ILS. Truth though, what is likely to happen in truth is around Pufax or Welling we're going to be told to head 270 degrees or 220 degrees or something like that to head down towards where this Yoda waypoint is, and then we'll be vectored up northbound to then join the ILS. So we need to set a few things up. We need to set the ILS 110.1 and the course on nav 1 and nav 2, the MCP stack 326 degrees on both. We need to set ADF 1 to 406 for Birmingham, should we declare a missed approach and get told to hold it at that NDB. And we also ideally want to set the Honolulu VOR as well, 11365. And those three being set will be pretty sweet. So we could do that now, and I'll hopefully have both on the screen. I'd be a bit clever with the camera angles, so we'll do 11365 first, and 1101 like that. Nav 2, 1101. I'm going to flick this across. I'm going to put 11365 in here as well, because I'm more likely to use Honolulu on nav 2 so that I can then keep ADF 1 tuned to Birmingham on 406. Like so. They're all tuned. We know as well we've got Birmingham approach 123975. So we can be proactive in getting that ready. And then up here, we need to make sure the course matches. So the course here is 326 on nav 1. Oops. 326, and then nav 2. 326, both matching. The next question is, where do we want to vacate? So we're going to get the charts, the airport, ground charts, and the parking stands. And I'm going to look at the airport layout. And we know, landing on runway 33, we've got an option to vacate at Tango 1 if we stop really short. That's near on impossible. We've got an option to vacate at Bravo, or we vacate right at the bottom at Alpha 1. And the runway length there is 3,052 metres. So I reckon we can use auto brake. Oh, it's saying here on Bass Airplane Toolbox we can use auto brake 1, lap 30, reverser both. But if I go reverse idle, just recalculate this, it's telling us to use again auto brake 1 or auto brake 2 as an option. 2,110 metres used. touchdown at the threshold. We'll use auto brake 2 and we'll see what happens with reverse idle. And I think auto brake 2 will get us off around Bravo here. If not, we get down to Alpha. And this is all about now thinking ahead about how busy it's going to be as well. We fly in because we've got a load of us flying in at the same time, all about 1 or 2 minutes apart, and therefore we want to be on the runway for as little time as possible. So we'll set auto brake 2. And then we will use reverse idle instead of full reverse, which means that when we touch down, like at most of the small aircraft at Heathrow, in fact, you'll touch down, then you'll open up the reversers, you just click them basically, so that the side cowlings open, but it doesn't spool up into reverse thrust. It's just there in case you need it. For example, if auto brake fails or the brakes fail, that sort of thing. Europe, I'd like to set up my own airline, to be fair, something like Osprey Airways. That would be quite cool. What else do we need to do? Landing altitude 350. What's the airport elevation actually? Yeah, airport elevation 339, so 350 is the closest. The little omission there that I missed. Okie doke. Well, that's all set up. What we can also do is pop in here, init ref. We need to think about adding in our minimums and things too. That's our current weight. Our planned landing weight is 59.6. So if we put that in there, it's going to give us an estimate approach speed. We want flat 30, 132. And it has speed over the threshold, 142 knots. And an approach speed, if we add 5, of 147 knots. Scribble those down ready. And we can see as well the course, 326 is there. And the ILS frequency is in there as well. That matches everything that we've done, the MCP and everything else. We now need to think about the primary flight display. Just going to make sure that heading bug is recentered. Now we've made a turn. So the QNH we know currently is 1012. We've got a 4-knot crosswind now. 1012, and the minimums at Birmingham for the ILS on the bottom of the charts. It depends, category Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3A ILS. I will try and hand fly this whole the aeroplane from 1,000 feet again, so I'll do minimums of 528. In fact, I'll put this Cat 2 minimums in 428. Let's scroll in. And that gives me then 100 feet from the ground on the rad-out. LEIB aircraft. So Barrow's ready, that's our minimums. We've got our VREF speeds done and our standby altimeter or pressure setting as well. Neil, there's a discontinuity there because it is effectively the point at which, look at those clouds, the point at which you would be vectored towards the ILS, so the discontinuity is supposed to be there. If you've deleted it though, that's fine, just leave it. You might need to make sure you go into heading mode if we go that far. But yeah, we won't be going as far as Grove anyway. Mark, yes. In effect, I'm going to use ADF1 for BHX, NDB 406, but I've put that there as a bit of backup. I did it initially basically and then figured I wanted ADF1 to be in use, and then VOR2 is set to the Honolulu VOR. So for the purposes of displaying specific ones, we're going to use ADF1 and then VOR2 like that when we get a bit closer. 40 miles to top descent-ish. Yeah, we're going to get vectors anyway, Neil, because we've got radar controller online, 123975. If you're watching, by the way, folks, thanks to Osama, thanks to Joe, thanks to Adam as well, providing ATC for our arrival. It's really appreciated. And prior to top of descent, we can work through what we need. So I'm going to set 220 initially on the MCP. Which is where we want to be at HEMEL. We've done destination weather, we've set the arrival data and the landing altitude, we've set our radios as well. I'm going to flick that across to 1101 so it's already active, ready for us. And then we just need to change nav 2 across when we get a bit closer. Engine anti-ice, not really required at the moment. We'll see though when we go through the cloud. I might put wing ice on, wing anti-ice on. I've always told, even depends on the temperature, but I've always been told you descend through cloud, get the wing anti-ice on at the top. So who knows, I might do that. Altimeter set, minimums are set, approach has been briefed, missed approach has been briefed earlier as well, which is in effect, fly runway heading, straight ahead to 3000 then as directed, nice and easy. It's most likely going to result in a hold at Birmingham's NDB, but if not, it will be vectors back round to have another go at the ILS. MCP's reset, auto brake set to 2. We're planning for a reverse idle touchdown. And we're on LNAV, VNAV for the descent when we hit top of descent. Neil, hello buddy. Were you on the other day when HEMS flew in? That might have been my fault. My favourite aircraft in real life is the 757-200 for airliners, Turtle. My favourite aircraft in the sim is 737-800 is this. You can see now as we're getting a bit closer as well, kind of that visualization of the charts that we were looking at on the nav display. If we zoom in too close though, it won't show us, but you can kind of see what it looks like. And there's Oscott and Grove, that little dogleg that comes out away from Birmingham and then just stops. And then from there it's that discontinuity, so there's nothing else basically. We'll have to vector ourselves. The aeroplane will level off at Grove and just fly straight. Neil, nice to check you out. Leader 1. Guessing you've just done runway checks. Leonardo Lima says, what's the transition level at EGBB? I've gone with 7.0 for now. I think it was 7.5, I can't remember. Let's have a look again at the ATIS, it's just been refreshed. Information Papa, Yeah, I've gone for 7,000 feet for the transition. Information Papa, runway in use 33, surface wind 090 at 4. Info Papa won't change, so I'm going to put a big P on my piece of paper on my notepad. Words info on top of it. QNH 1012. Runway use is 33, surface wind is 090 at 4 knots, so we've got a 4 knot crosswind straight across the aircraft on the approach. Actually a slight tailwind. Gear up, yep, so the channel is monetized. Adverts, memberships, tips, all of that helps support the stream. I'm guessing Neil wasn't on at work at Heathrow when Hems came in the other day then. Unless he's not, maybe he's not got the sound up. Just past Melco. Rich, yeah, the ATIS is on B pilot. 6025. You could tune it in. The V-pilot will give you the frequency.
90 degrees 4 knots.
We can have a listen to both.
Varying between 010 and 170 degrees.
Percent's about to happen.
19, dew point +10, QNH 1012.
Yeah, it did went to, I've got some great pictures, Neil.
And advise aircraft type on first contact. Birmingham information Papa, time 1350 Zulu, runway in use 33, surface wind 090 degrees 4 knots, varying between 010 and 170 degrees, Caboc, temperature +19, dew point +10, QNH 1012, acknowledge receipt of information Papa.
Holy Christ, who's that?
And advise aircraft type on first contact.
Traffic.
Holy moly. Howdy, Chanex. That... Holy Christ, that was close. Jeez, that... There you go, there's a TCAS alert stuff. That's the one, yeah, Neil. Unfortunately, didn't make it. Oh, Neil, yeah, that's pretty cool. Right, now I'm going to change to Birmingham radar. Birmingham approach. Birmingham radar, PDCs as well, but that's for departing aircraft. Going to wind that to 280 knots. Uh, 123975. We'll pop the seatbelt sign on. Now we're going to go through cloud. This is that thick layer that I mentioned that's over the UK at the moment, and because of that I'm expecting it to be a bit dull, a bit dark underneath. So we're going to make sure all our cabin or our sort of our cockpit lighting is set as we want, as we need, so that maybe we just need to make a few tweaks as we go through into that cloud layer. Because because we won't have much time. When it gets really busy, we won't have much time to start fiddling around with lights and things at that point. So on 123975, which is Birmingham radar.
And Golf Oscar Romeo, are you familiar with the local VIPs in the Birmingham area?
Python.
Golf Oscar Romeo Roger, if you could route towards Studley and then M40, M42 interchange for now, I'll give you further instructions shortly.
Okay, we're heading towards Dudley and M40, M42 interchange. Thanks, Golf Romeo.
That's somebody doing some BFR. Birmingham radar, good afternoon, Osprey 165, Boeing 737-800, information Papa, inbound HEMEL, descending flight level 280 for 220.
Sorry, station calling Birmingham radar, call center again.
Osprey 165.
Osprey 165, good afternoon, Birmingham radar, squawk 1034.
Squawk 1034, Osprey 165. 1034.
Osprey 165, thanks. Information Papa, you can expect radar vectors wireless approach runway 33, descend flight level 220.
Expect radar vectors ILS-33 and descend flight level 220, Osprey 165.
Ryanair 401 Bravo, turn left heading 145.
Left heading 145 right here.
So this is our tower controllers next that I'm pre-tuning. 1183, always be ahead of the aeroplane, be ahead of the controllers. So when they tell you to go to tower, you're pre-tuned, all ready to go. 1183, cross-check the frequency is correct, and then we know ground is 1218. So tower 118.3. Ground.
Golf Bravo Oscar, Christian Golf Bravo November Oscar Romeo. You clear to enter the Birmingham control zone from the southwest by the M40, M42 interchange. VIP, not above altitude, 2,000 feet. VFR on Birmingham QNH 1012.
Golf Bravo November Oscar Romeo, cleared to enter the Birmingham control zone by the M40, M42 interchange. So from the southwest, double of 2,000 feet on 1012, Golf Romeo.
Golf Oscar Romeo, read back correct and report when approaching M40, M43.
Oh, of course. I like Birmingham. I know it very well.
Ryanair 401 Bravo, descent altitude
Oh, look at that cloud.
5,000 feet, QNH is 1012.
5,000 QNH 1012,
Osprey 165, you can descend to level 180.
Descend flight level 180, Osprey 165.
Birmingham radar, Osprey 7 flight level 290, 26 miles in HEMEL with information cover.
Yeah, vertical speed mode, just allow it to decelerate using
Osprey 722, good afternoon, Birmingham radar.
engine rather than pitch.
Papa is correct.
That puts us, it says there, into MCP speed.
Easy 212, I'm at gate 56C in an A320 Neo requesting IFR clearance to Skiathos on the Hotel Echo November departure.
Easy 240, contact the ground.
Tell you what, that looks busy.
Decimal
1, 2, he's converging onto HEMEL with us.
212. Chalet 33 Victor at flight level 220 inbound Whiskey off here.
I think that is Max.
Shanix 33 Victor, good afternoon, Birmingham radar squawk 774.
60 miles to go, folks. Hemel Hempstead below.
Squawk in 7464 for Channel 33 Victor.
Runway 401 Bravo, turn left now, heading 060 degrees.
1160, runway 401 Bravo.
Osprey 165, route direct to Honolulu.
Rex Honolulu, Osprey 165. Rex 2.
Runway 401 Bravo, descent altitude 4,000 feet.
4,000, runway 401 Bravo.
Going to be really busy now, so not below 10,000 yet, but I'm going to turn the music off.
33 Victor, thank you.
So we can enjoy the ATC as well.
33, descend, flight level 180.
180 for Channel 33 Victor.
We're yet to have to worry about.
722, descend flight level 220.
We're yet to worry about clouds, weather, icing at the moment. Look at that. Pretty lovely.
Runway 401 Bravo, turn left now, heading 360 degrees.
We are indeed, MBS Gaming.
2,500 feet.
And left heading 360 here, descend now 2,500, runway 401 Bravo.
And runway 401 Bravo on the heading, you cleared the Alice approach, runway 33.
Heading is 360 here, clear for Alice 33, runway 401
Oh dear, Ashley. It's obviously, the A321 was obviously very popular. But it's no different to Captain Sim, I still stand by that. So I can't celebrate one and refute the other. So that's 18,000 feet. We'll level off until he tells us otherwise.
Good afternoon, Birmingham approach, Osprey 131 Golf. No, negative on the wrong frequency, I believe. 1 second.
Oh, you're not Neil?
You're on the correct frequency.
In that case, this is Osprey 131 Golf with you descending through flight level 220. I have information popper on board.
Osprey 131 Golf, good afternoon, Birmingham radar, squawk 1024, descend, flight level 220.
Can you say the squawk again, please?
Squawk 1024.
Europe Aviation, unfortunately yes, all of my days off have been cancelled to assist with the...
Osprey 165, descend flight level 150.
Descend flight level 150, Osprey 165. Basically I'm working every day up until at least Monday. Mr. Turtle, it is... This is VATSIM. Working, basically, the idea of it is you work to be as realistic as possible. Following all your correct real-world procedures, the correct ATC communications, all that sort of thing, basically. It's the wonder of VATSIM.
Shanix 33 Victor, turn right, radar heading 015.
But this is not something you can just throw yourself into. You have to prepare a lot for connecting to VATSIM. Oh, that's 10. 1101 is active for the ILS on nav 1. We'll flick that across as well. So nav 1 and nav 2 are now active on the ILS.
Osprey 165, descend flight level 90.
Descend flight level 90, Osprey 165.
Osprey 722, descend flight level 180.
10 flight level 180, Osprey 722.
Golf Bravo, Golf Scrum, approaching
Yes, it's
M40,
Microsoft
M42.
Flight Simulator.
Golf Bravo, Oscar November, thanks. You'll be entering control airspace shortly. Radar control inside.
Radar control inside, Golf Scrum, yeah.
Golf Oscar Romeo, roger, and report when you're on the field inside. You can expect to join for a left base runway 33.
Okay, expect join left base runway 33, report airfield inside, Golf Scrum, yeah.
That sounds like a familiar voice. Ron, hello.
Shanx 33 Victor, descent flight level 100.
Flight level 100 for Channel 33 Victor.
Osprey 31 Golf, speed 250 knots.
Osprey 1 Golf, speed 250 knots. Birmingham radar, hello. Finnair 133 forward, flight level 035. Climbing to flight level 060.
Finnair 1314. Hello, Birmingham radar, roger. Maintain altitude 6,000 innovation.
Maintain altitude 6,000. Finnair 1334.
Golf Scrum, has the airfield inside.
Golf Oscar Romeo, thanks. Contact Birmingham Tower now 118.3.
Oh, that's ready. That's set, ready.
Thanks for your help,
That's correct. 326, 326. We're going to go to checklists. Nav course frequency is checked, they're set and active at the moment. Speeds will be in limit shortly, so we'll work through the approach checks. We get a bit closer. Start to work to slow the aeroplane down a bit as we go through 10,000 feet.
1007, speedbird 456.
Shanx 33 Victor, channel left headings 285.
Let's increase our rate of descent using a bit of speed brake as well. Flight detent. Here we go.
And Shanx 33 Victor, descend correction. Resume on navigation direct to Honolulu.
Direct Honolulu, to navigation, Channel 33 Victor.
And Osprey 722, descent flight level 150.
10 flight level 150, Osprey.
Light signs, they'll go on below 10. Feels good.
Radar, good day, lot 9015, descending to flight level 220.
Wow, just pick up the ILS already.
Lot 9015, Birmingham radar, good afternoon, score 1043.
1043 for lot
Set 220,
9015.
I think.
Osprey 131 Golf, descent flight level 180.
180, Osprey 131 Golf.
Speedbird 456, stop your descent, please, flight level 150.
Stopping descent, flight level 150,
Oh, nice.
speedbird 456.
Birmingham radar, good day, Tomjet 1 Victor Kilo, descending to 20.
Tomjet.
Only got 10 miles, got a lot of height to lose.
Birmingham radar, roger, squawk 1054.
1054, Tomjet 1 Victor Kilo.
Speedbird 456, speed 250 knots.
250 knots, speedbird 456.
I don't think this is achievable at this altitude. Yes, I did, yes. Ron, thank you, buddy.
Shanx 9 Romeo Juliet, contact Birmingham ground 121.8. Okay, Osprey 165, descent flight level 80.
Descent flight level 80, Osprey 165.
Shanx 33 Victor, descent flight level 90.
Hi there for Channel 33.
Yeah, both kind of descending into the same little pocket of airspace, weren't we, actually? It was all a bit crazy. Redmaster says very bumpy on fun for him. That's John in the background.
Osprey 27 Juliet, Mike, good afternoon, Birmingham radar, you can squawk 1033.
There's the airfield, and there's no chance we can achieve this at this point, but we're using vectors at the moment, so it doesn't really matter too much. We'll get rid of the speed brake. Basically, it's going to vector us to go to descend to
Osprey 131 Golf,
the
descend
proper
flight
profile
level
for us.
160.
Descend flight level 160, Osprey 131 Golf.
Osprey 722, you can plan to hold at Grove, delay less than 5 minutes.
Plan to hold Grove, delay less than 5 minutes, Osprey 724.
Osprey 165, fly radar heading 29, correction, fly radar heading 275, radar vectors for the ILS approach, runway 33.
heading 275, radar vectors, ILS 33, Osprey 165. I go to 230 knots. This is great.
456, turn right onto radar heading of 360 degrees.
So what he's doing at the moment, there's 10 of us flying in all from Ibiza. There's other aircraft also flying in from various other parts of the UK. There's departures from Birmingham as well, and this controller is trying to basically fit it all into this neat pattern so everybody flies in sequence quite nicely.
Delay about less than 5
those
minutes.
lights and signs.
I'll try my best, but I've never actually done a hold before. Osprey 131 Golf.
No, you'll be fine.
Golf, Roger, no problem. If you require, I can give you radar vectors.
I would prefer vectors, as I say, I'm not au fait yet, fully with holding.
Okay, continue on the south for now. I'll give you further instructions shortly.
Roger that, Osprey 131 Golf.
FINAIR 1334, climb flight level 110.
Climb flight
Very
level
good controller there. He's accommodating Neil.
334.
Chenex 33 Victor, fly radar heading of 270
Very nice,
degrees.
in effect.
Approach 33.
Instead of risking the hold getting a bit messy, he's offered to give radar vectors. So the controller's made himself even busier.
160 for
But he's been really helpful as well. Really nice.
Osprey 165, turn left now, heading 150 degrees, descend to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH is 1012.
Left 150 degrees, 5,000 feet, QNH 1012, Osprey 165.
Chenex 33 Victor, descend flight level 80.
80, Chenex 33 Victor.
Osprey 722, descend flight level 90.
Descend flight level 90, Osprey 722.
Set the up speed now as our speed target.
Speedbird 456, turn left now, heading 235.
Left hand heading 235, 0456.
Tomjet 1 Victor Kilo, descend flight level 200.
Descend 200 from jet 1 Victor Kilo.
And Chenex 27 Juliet Mike, descend flight level 220.
Descend 220, Osprey 27 Juliet Mike.
Aircraft over here somewhere on TCAS. Now on TA.
Correction, Chenex, yep, Chenex 33 Victor, descend flight level 80.
80, Chenex 3 Victor.
There he is. See some strobes.
Osprey 131 Golf, descend flight level 100.
Descend flight level 100, Osprey 131 Golf.
This is how busy VATSIM is. It's awesome. It's almost become an event in itself. So heading 150, but our track is 145 due to the wind. We've got 25 knots. It's partial tailwind actually, a bit of a crosswind as well predominantly.
165, turn left now, heading 060 degrees, base leg.
060 degrees, Osprey 165.
Chenex 33 Victor, descent to altitude 5,000 feet, the Birmingham QNH 1012.
So that last little bit there is saying base right, it's telling us we're on right base for the approach.
Osprey 165, descent to altitude 4,000 feet.
Descent 4,000 feet, Osprey 165.
Chenex 33 Victor, turn left heading 125.
Speed's good, 230-ish, flap extension, flap 1.
Speedbird
We're going to go flap 5 in a minute.
Navigation direct to Honolulu.
Direct Honolulu, Speedbird 456.
Flap 5.
Osprey 131 Golf fly, radar heading of 285.
Set 180.
Fly heading 285, Osprey 131 Golf.
Osprey 165, turn left heading 360 degrees, descend to altitude 2,500 feet.
360 degrees, 2,500 feet, Osprey 165. Up 10. And I'm hoping this is also now increasing the drag on the aircraft so that we can decelerate a little bit quicker and also increase our rate of descent. Look, so we're now just tickling the glide slope. We're just tickling the speeds as well. We're pushing this as much as we can.
Osprey 722, turn right heading 170 degrees, hold cancel.
I'm going to go to ignition mode continuous for both of these. We get very busy otherwise.
Osprey 165, apologies for the late turn there. You can turn left heading to correction 300 degrees and you cleared the ILS approach runway 33.
300 degrees, cleared ILS, runway 33, Osprey 165.
Finnair 1334 for the climb, your discretion, Unicom 122.8, bye-bye.
Unicom 122.8 for Finnair 1334. Thank you.
Oh, what?
And Chenex 33 Victor.
That's live anyway, so 326.
070 degrees, sorry, for Chenex 33.
Sleep
at 456, descend flight level 110.
Hold on a second. That's really bugging it for me here.
456. From Jet 1 Victor Kilo, descend flight level 150.
Gonna have to fly this in.
Descend 150 from Jet 1 Victor Kilo.
2500. Chenex 165, correction, Osprey 165, turn left heading 290 degrees, just up.
The left 290 degrees, sorry, awkward angle for me there, Osprey 165.
Chenex 33 Victor, descend to altitude 4,000 feet, speed 180 knots.
4,000 feet and 180 knots. Chenex 33 Victor.
Osprey 131 Golf, descend flight level 90.
Descend flight level 90, Osprey 131 Golf.
Osprey 722, descend flight level 80.
Descend flight level 80, Osprey 722.
And Osprey 165, you happy to continue approach or do you want to try again?
A firm establishing now, Osprey 165.
Osprey 165, perfect. Contact Birmingham Tower now, 118.3.
118.3 for tower, Osprey 165. Thanks, have a good day. Gear down, flap 15, 160. Birmingham Tower, good evening, Osprey 165. Established runway 33 ILS, 6 miles.
Osprey 165, Birmingham Tower, good afternoon. Reception 090, one up, runway 33, clear to land.
Good land, Osprey 165. Let's go flap 30 now, and we're going to make sure we've got ignition mode onto continuous, light signs all as required. We're going to go CMDB. Start switches are all good, gears down 3 green, flaps are 30 green, and go around altitude is set 326 runway heading. 36 sort of pilot, go around altitude set, that's all good. Let's go to auto thrust off, autopilot off again. Passengers be like, what the hell is going on in that cockpit? Yeah, what do you reckon, guys? Feet per minute predictions, let's go. Is aren't. Wasn't sure. Weird, because I've got no wind on the nav display, but I feel like I've got a crosswind, but I've also got a tailwind that I'm fighting. Very bizarre. The nav display's not really helping, because I've definitely got wind. You can see the aeroplane bobbing about.
400.
Certainly being affected by something transient, like wind, very variable wind.
200. Approaching minimums.
Okay. Well, it's nice and stable.
Minimums. 20.
The heck? It's like a double whammy there. The reverse idle, 145. I'll take that. And we're decelerating on auto brake 2, nice and slowly. And while we do that, I'm just going to try and pass to caution because we're running on idle at the moment. We're going to make sure we've got.
Channel 352 on 8 miles final runway 33.
Channel 32, back to Birmingham Tower. Good afternoon. Continue approach. You're number 2.
There we are. Look at that. Auto brake 2's got us right down to the end.
Continue
So we disarm the auto brake.
Channel 352.
And we will vacate. He brakes away.
Osprey 165, welcome to Birmingham. You can contact the ground now 121. I'll wait for that.
Ground 1218, Osprey 165. Thanks. Have a good day. Let's sort these out. Come to us slow.
Channel 33, Victor, first wind 1503 knots, runway 33, clear to land.
Clear to land, Channel 352.
It's because we had reverse out.
69 Alpha Foxtrot stand 71 request pushing start. Channel 9 Alpha Foxtrot stand 71 push and start approved face south. Push start approved face south. Channel 9 Alpha Foxtrot.
Over ground, good afternoon. Osprey 165 has vacated right on Alpha.
Osprey 165, good afternoon, welcome to Birmingham. Continue taxi Alpha Delta Echo Yankee stand 24.
Taxi Alpha Delta Echo Yankee stand 24, Osprey 165. I know Doc said request a certain stand, but I don't mind too much where we go. In the meantime, we've got Max's landing. Stand 24 with safe
The
dock.
chosen position is too small for your aircraft.
Go away. That's not been configured properly. That's a shame. Oh well. There's Max anyway. Actually a tailwind now, which is why the approach was a little bit interesting. It shows you just a couple of knots tailwind. It can really sort of throw the aeroplane off a little bit. There's Birmingham Tower off in the distance. Good. APU's running for about a minute now. Tutorial on how to make livery, no idea. I'm not the greatest at anything like that, sadly.
2132, taxi Delta, hold Delta 7.
Taxi Delta, holding Delta 7, Ryanair 2.
Alpha Delta. Echo Yankee into the cul-de-sac at the bottom. And stand 2-4 remote.
Subject 4-4 Whiskey River taxi.
Subject 4-5 Whiskey, taxi Whiskey, holding point Whiskey.
Taxi Whiskey, holding point Whiskey, Subject 4-4 Whiskey.
Channel 3 Victor on Alpha.
Channel 33 Victor, hello, Birmingham ground, continue taxi Alpha Delta Echo, hold Echo 3, expect to stand 2-3.
Expecting stand 2-3 via Alpha Delta and Echo, Channel 3 Victor.
Tried to catch him at the same time. Jack, it's called landing rate monitor by FS Hub. It's who we use for our all of our stuff, basically.
Subject 4-4 Whiskey,
Subject 4-5 Whiskey, Roger, behind the Ryanair A320.
Can't see anyone on final yet.
Taxi Delta, hold Delta 7.
Taxi Delta, hold Delta 7. Subject 4-4 Whiskey.
Subject 4-5 Whiskey, negative
There's the
behind
louder.
the Ryanair A320, passing right to left, hold Delta 7 via Delta.
Ryanair exchange, coming from right to left.
Jet 2. EasyJet, good to see Boeing was actually really quite busy today. It's really nice to see. Good morning, Mike. This has got to be Gav. See some nav lights in the distance.
Channel 9 Alpha Foxtrot, request taxi.
That TUI fly there. It's in the Whiskey taxiway. That's the cul-de-sac just been cleared after the louder.
Delta, hold Delta 5.
6 Delta, hold Delta 5, Channel 9 Alpha Foxtrot.
Ryanair 2132 behind the Osprey 737, passing right to left in front on Yankee, continue taxi, holding point Sierra 1 via Echo and Sierra.
Sorry, Ryanair 2132 again.
Ryanair
no
2132 behind the Osprey 737, passing right to left in front on Yankee, continue taxi, holding point Sierra 1 via Echo and Sierra.
Behind Ryanair 22 behind the aircraft, passing right to left via Echo Sierra, holding point Sierra 2.
Ryanair 2132 negative, it's holding point Sierra 1 via Delta, Echo and Sierra.
Holding point 1.
Here we go.
Echo and Sierra. Ryanair 22.
Stand 24. This is weird. Oh no, there is a VDGS. Epic. First time using the GSX VDGS actually. Okay, gotta go right. Ooh, gotta go left. Ooh, hey. Slow it down a little bit here. Gotta try and keep the arrow on the dot. 10 meters.
Ryanair 2132, hold position, you've gone the wrong way.
I think he's followed me.
Holding a mission for position the Ryanair 22.
Channel 338, continue taxi, hold point Echo 3.
Continue taxi to Echo 3, Channel 338.
Oh, trying to inch it now.
4-4 Whiskey, we'll be behind you Ryanair 2132. I'm pretty sure I can
Stop.
slot going a little
Brakes
bit.
on.
Subject 45 Whiskey, you able to turn on to Delta?
Yeah, we won't be able to surf it.
You parked a bit too far in askew.
Subject pop over to Roger, turn on
And you
Delta,
GSX, that's your fault.
Sierra 1 via Delta Echo and Sierra, over.
Sierra 1 via Delta Echo Sierra.
Oh, look at that. I do like GSX when it does cool stuff like this. Let's just quickly pop this on. We got everybody down yet? Still is. There's Gav, or somebody in the Phoenix. A couple on final there. So from here we've got brakes set. Let's go to off. So we've got the APU running.
Squawk 647
Ground services, full chocks, set.
33 Victor behind the 2E737, passing left to right ahead on Delta. Taxi stands 23 via
Up in the
Yankee.
top. Anti-collision lights off.
Behind the departing traffic, taxi from 23 via Yankee, channel 33 Victor.
And GSX.
Vacated runway 33.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Osprey 722, good afternoon, welcome to Birmingham.
West
Continue
boarding.
taxi Alpha Delta, hold Delta 5,
Boarding
expect stand
requested.
22.
Does it anyway, even though it tells you the boarding is too small. And then our frames tank.
Channel 9 Alpha Foxtrot, continue taxi Delta, hold Delta 7.
Frames tank beyond belief.
Delta, hold Delta 7, Channel 9 Alpha Foxtrot. Ryanair 2132, take left onto Echo, hold Echo 3.
Taking left onto Echo.
Peace hello to you.
And Echo, on Echo 3.
Good at Charlie Mike. Is Valantic connected to FS Hub? No, two separate tools entirely.
Subject 45 Whiskey, contact Birmingham Tower now, 118.3, bye bye.
Oh wait, that's what we did.
Passenger bus is coming.
EZ212, ready for pushback and starter.
Yes. Oh, it's copying our model. That's Neil, I think. You have to ignore the fact the cargo holds open, folks. The chocks are on the wheels. That might have been Neil's second ever landing on stream.
Ryanair 2132, A-Firm, Texas 01 via Echo 0. Channel 9 Alpha Foxtrot, give way to the Ryanair A320 on Echo and then taxi over defense Sierra 1 via Echo and Sierra.
Oh,
Give way
doors
to
are open.
the A320 on our right, and then can we have inspection Echo at all? Channel 9 Alpha Foxtrot. Channel 9 Alpha Foxtrot is taxi Echo 1 via Echo.
Jack, have a good day. Thank you very much for the tip, Jack. Really appreciate that. So what we're waiting for now, folks. Oh my God. Did what an aircraft did at Heathrow the other day, left his strobes on. Virgin Atlantic Dreamliner taxied in with his strobes on all the way.
Station calling, call dynamic, please.
So we're waiting for the passenger bus, which is there, making its way around the airfield. Okay, I was just going directly across the stands, but okay. Then we're going to deboard the passengers, the self-loading cargo. The other side of it, in fact, is already being offloaded.
Channel 9 Alpha Foxtrot, contact Birmingham Tower now, 118.3, bye-bye. 183, Channel 9
So there's something that they didn't do in the profile properly, set the height of that.
Birmingham Ground Osprey 131 Golf with you. Just vacated runway.
Osprey 131 Golf, hello, continue taxi Alpha, hold Alpha 6, expect stand 21.
Taxi Alpha, hold Alpha 6, expect stand 21.
Not really, it's just very, I think, glaring on
Osprey
the
722,
pilots.
continue taxi Delta Yankee stand 22.
Got one on final, yeah, here he comes.
Continue taxi Delta.
BA flight. So I almost cocked up that ILS approach there. It's I've got quite a funky angle in it.
320, good afternoon, Birmingham Ground, confirm your aircraft type and stand number, please.
Right, so number 3 on approach. How many more have we got to land? Do we know?
Korean 320, good afternoon, Birmingham ground, confirm your aircraft type and stand number.
Number A, 320 and I have no idea where I'm going to
Bingo. Nice touchdown, Charles. Congrats, Charles.
No problem. It will need to be an odd
Neil,
flight
good
level
effort.
label 130.
There's Neil taxiing down right at the bottom. We'll have to wait till he taxis in, really, parks up, because it's going to give us really funky views otherwise. There's another one on final.
Korean 320, Roger, thank you, clear to Heathrow as filed, ADMEX 1 Mike departure, final level 130, squawk 4516,
That's quite cool, look at that.
QNH 1011.
There's a view.
Korean 320, confirm the ADMEX 1 Mike departure.
1 Mike departure,
Korean 320, negative is the ADMEX 1 Mike.
ADMEX 1 Mike,
Korean 320, read back correct. Easy 212, squawk 6471.
GSX always looks pretty good, doesn't it?
6471, I did enter that, but I don't know why it's changed it. I'll sort it out now then.
Not a problem, thank you.
Ah,
6471,
did
yeah?
he just come in really early? Oh, you come in quicker than I thought. Or was he on?
131 Golf, continue taxi.
No, he's on an immediate takeoff.
Via Delta and Yankee.
Oh. We pan around, sorry for the super pan in, but look at that, that's a short takeoff landing clearance there. Embarrassing the CRJ, won the flare airplane vote. God, by the way guys, the CRJ, tough to learn, tough to fly, very hands-on. The Nordic CRJ there, very nice livery.
Hold Victor 1, easy 212. Hello ground,
Oh god, he looks fast, doesn't he?
Negative RG3 real alpha.
Right. He's got it back though, look at that, lovely work.
Hello Birmingham ground, welcome to Birmingham, continue taxi Alpha Delta, hold Delta 2 and you can expect stand 20.
Alpha Delta, hold Delta 2, expect 1020, Seabird 456.
Passengers bus is coming.
There you go, the bags. First round of bags of GSX. And the first passenger coach is off as well. Taking the punters back towards the arrivals hall. How we do? We should have another on short final.
Easy 212 holding Victor 1.
Loud has been given line up.
2 thank you, behind the Osprey 737, taxiing right to left in front of Delta, continue taxi, holding point Sierra 1, runway 33 via Delta, Echo
You're all good
Sierra.
still yet?
Sorry, could you repeat that one more time, please? Thank you.
Easy 212, standby.
Standby, easy 212.
Osprey 131 Golf, taking a wrong turn, just continue on Echo, Yankee, stand 21.
I kind of guessed I'd done that when I got on this one. I do apologise, Osprey 131 Golf.
Not a problem, break. Easy 212, taxi Delta, hold Delta 7.
Easy 212, taxi Delta, hold Delta 7.
Barry's, yeah, auto throttle makes all the difference, doesn't it?
Green Air 320, confirm, do you need push?
I don't think who's next, we've got loads flying in.
Good day, lot 9015. On Bravo.
Lot 9015, taking immediate right onto Alpha, hold Alpha 6, and I'll call you back.
Roger, immediate to the right and hold Alpha 6 for lot 905.
1, 2.
Green Air 320, stand 54 right, push and start is approved, stay south.
3, 4 left to come in.
Easy 212, continue
just spawned
taxi, holding quick Sierra 1, runway 33 via Delta, Echo Sierra, caution at 737.
Why is a firefighter driving?
Was it holding point Sierra 1?
This parking is too small.
EG212, affirm it's Sierra 1 via Delta, Echo and Sierra.
Delta, Echo and Sierra, hold point Sierra 1.
Have to be creative with the camera angle now.
Seabird 456, continue taxi, Echo, hold Echo 3.
Hopefully he disappears in a minute.
Echo, hold Echo 3, Seabird 456.
Oh, he's... I don't know who that is.
Good afternoon to you, Birmingham Ground, Channel 36, Mike Echo, the Boeing 737-800 at stand 2, information Romeo, requesting our boss clearance to Skiathos.
Next touchdown, 737-800 pilot, flying Tomjet.
Birmingham Ground, cleared to Skiathos is filed, add next 1 Mike departure towards 757,
Zoom.
QNH 1011.
Clear to Skiathos by the Annex 1, Mike departure.
Oh, wonderful touchdown there, that's fantastic. Great effort.
Mike Echo.
Smoothly down the nose wheel as well.
Mike Echo, reback correct.
That's fantastic. Great work.
Lot 9015, continue taxi, Alpha, Delta,
Neil's
Echo,
parked up over there as well,
3,
filling up the whole
stand
apron here.
3.
Absolutely cracking.
Roger, taxi to Alpha, Delta, Echo, and hold short, Echo 3, stand, expect stand number 3 for lot 9015.
EG212, contact Birmingham Tower now, 118.3, bye-bye.
That's a great screenshot.
118.3, thank you, goodbye.
Seabird 456, continue taxi, stand 20 via Yankee.
Continue, stand 20 via Yankee,
Three left.
Seabird 456.
Yeah, I think it looked pretty good. I'm trying to remember now which ones I've seen. One on final, we've got the Jet 2 having an immediate takeoff. Once he goes, we have to pan the camera back round again to catch the next one. There's the bump,
Ground, good
infamous
afternoon,
bump at Birmingham.
Kilo,
Alpha.
He's airborne, used almost all the runway there, good grief.
Continue taxi, Alpha, Delta,
He's not done his
Echo,
performance
hold
calculations.
Echo 3 and expect stand 1.
Where's that plane gone? There he
Taxi,
is.
Alpha, Delta, Echo,
Middle of the screen.
Echo 3 and stand 1 from just 20 per kilo.
He must be about 3 miles.
Lot 9015, continue taxi, stand 3 via Yankee.
Continue taxi to stand 3 via Yankee for lot 905.
Coles, you're most welcome. Thank you for flying along. I hope you've enjoyed it. Tricky approach to Birmingham, Neil, when it's busy. Lots of vectoring. Quite a steepish descent as well through London airspace. Barris saying we're stand 3. Where are you guys? We're all stand 24, so we should be literally right behind you. Basically, the remote stands behind you, effectively. Nabil, welcome. An Osprey A320. little bit of bank angle of, oh my good grief. Now there's the tailwind and the crosswinds coming into play here. Look at that. And he's down. The Phoenix has reverted to type and done its weird stuff. Oh my god. He's got the Phoenix bug where he swerves. That, I mean, they need to fix that, don't they? Got down safely. Vacated a Bravo there. 2E livery on the 737 looks so good, doesn't it? Stand 3 Faris is, there we go, he's there. We're all here. Nice and close. Shuts, it sure is. I've had it a couple of times. Weirdly enough, they're completely radio silent on it though, as if it's not a bug. EasyJet's lined up. I think it might have been John. Who else have we got to come in today? Where's this EasyJet going to, folks? Who's got Volanta or VATSPY fired up? Find out.
Birmingham ground Osprey 27 Juliet Mike.
Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, good afternoon. Welcome to Birmingham. Continue taxi Alpha Delta Echo, hold Echo 3 and expect to stand 4.
Alpha Delta Echo, hold Echo 3, expect stand 4 Osprey 27 Juliet Mike.
Tomjet 160 kilo, continue taxi Yankee stand 1.
Continue Yankee stand 1, Tomjet 1 kilo.
Alright, yeah, it's busy, isn't it?
Ground 9996, good evening.
5996, good evening, Birmingham ground pass message.
And in 6 stand on 70, request clearance to London.
Always up to Skiathos, very nice.
5996, roger, confirm your aircraft type, please.
Now that leaves 2 on final. Yeah, 2 on final. Doing flight sim Simon. Who is there? I think he's in the Honda jet. Oh, that's the Chanex. I need to do a controller stream at Birmingham again soon. I miss it.
Tomjet 1 Victor Kilo, I'm afraid stand 1 has been taken, am I correct?
Tomjet 1 Victor Kilo, yes, looks like an echo's just connected on it, so take stand 4 if available, otherwise stand 20 when you're right.
Roger, stand 20 on the right, Tomjet 1 Victor Kilo.
Roger.
It's a great livery, this one. Jet 2 Holidays. It looks like a 737-700. Easy. Whoa. Like Big Jet TV 2.0. Oh, it's a heavy flare and a go around. Whoa. Big thanks to the ATC, Gav, indeed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I hope he doesn't look like he's gone to toga power. Now he has. Holy Christ, that was worrying for a moment there.
Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, continue taxi Yankee and stand 4.
Continue Yankee, stand.
He's fighting it still.
Stand number 4, Osprey.
737 can be an absolute bugger for a go around. It's really, really demanding of you. Neil, no worries buddy, well done, hope you enjoyed it. What else have we got? There's another set of nav lights there. How are we doing on the parking stands? Wowzers. Fantastic. Look at that. I'll tell you what, rewind the time just forwards a little bit. To evening, and then we go into the flight deck here, pop our logo light on. Oh, how good does that look? John's parked. Andy says, what's with the landing gear? It's a Phoenix issue. Phoenix A320's AI model, basically, or lack of, I should say. So it's a total mess, and that's where frames become an issue because it's loading in the real Phoenix add-on, doing all its weird stuff like that 2-3 times over, so it becomes quite problematic.
Bravo 906, good evening.
Go back to live time for Simon's landing.
Bravo 906, good evening, Birmingham ground passing message.
In fact, let's go to live weather as well. See what happens.
Bravo 906 requests clearance to London State.
Bravo 906.
Oh, now look at the clouds there. They look remarkable. Look at that. Very, very nice. Who's this? Oh my god, it's a 777.
70. Bravo 906.
Oh, John.
Bravo 906, Roger. Confirm your aircraft type, please.
Hold on a second. There is no way in heck. Is this the Honda jet?
Sorry, sir. Air King 200.
I think this is like some Simon, I think, with his Honda jet. Might be wrong.
Bravo 906, Roger, thank you. The maximum flight level on that route is 150.
If it is, what a weird way to model match. It's literally gone the opposite end of size and scale. Cool, I think that's all of us except for one that's done the go around, so what we'll do is make sure I stay spawned in so we can watch it basically, but yeah, thank you to everybody who's flown along. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you very much to the ATC as well, really appreciate that from the three of you here at Birmingham who's assisted with giving us ATC, and hope you guys have enjoyed GSX as well, watching it in action for this nice route as well. Manchester, sorry, not Manchester, don't know what I'm thinking there. Ibiza to Birmingham with the great Macco Simulations Birmingham scenery and the iniScene Ibiza with custom GSX profiles for both as well. Not sure when the next live stream will be. It's most likely going to be a week Thursday, week Friday, Yeah, maybe a week, Friday, Saturday, that sort of time of frame, but it depends on work schedules and everything else as well. Big shout out to Jack, dropping a big whopper of a tip earlier on as well. Thank you very much, really appreciate all the support, supporting the stream there. Thank you very much as well, as always, to all of our channel members, whether you're bronze, silver, gold, status, frequent flyers. Really appreciate all your support to the channel. Make sure you hit subscribe if you're new, you're landing here for the first time. Give the stream a like before you head off, and we'll get to work planning the next live stream in the near future. Thanks for watching, folks. As always, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you very soon. I've got a very hectic 10 days ahead, but thanks for watching. Thanks for being here today, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.
Birmingham ground Air France 75 request taxi to stand.
Correction, FN 75, good afternoon, Birmingham ground taxi Alpha Delta Victor, stand 56.
Stand 56 via Alpha Delta Victor, Air France 75.